there is a weight that honesty carries, yet it is lighter than deception. The truthful walk with an ease unknown to the dishonest, for they are unburdened by the fear of being discovered. A lie requires another to sustain it, forming an endless chain of falsehoods, while truth stands alone, firm and unshaken. Many wish to be surrounded by honest people, yet few know how to recognize them. Honesty does not announce itself with grand declarations. It whispers in small, almost unnoticeable signs. Those who seek truth must train their eyes to see what is hidden in plain sight. Buddhist teachings tell us that truth is not a possession but a state of being. It is not something to be declared, but something to be lived. Just as a tree does not boast of its fruit, an honest person does not need to proclaim their honesty. Their actions reveal it effortlessly. The Buddha once said, 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. If truth cannot be hidden, then honesty must reveal itself in subtle ways. There are 3 small yet unmistakable signs by which one can recognize an honest person. To understand these signs, let us journey through a story, one that will show how honesty is not just spoken, but lived. The story of the 3 signs in a vast land filled with travelers, merchants, and wanderers. There was a wise man known for his ability to distinguish the honest from the deceitful. Many came to him hoping to learn his secret, but he never gave a direct answer. Instead, he offered a challenge. One day, 3 young men came to him, each claiming to be honest. They sought his approval, for they believed their truthfulness was beyond question. The wise man, knowing that honesty is not declared but demonstrated, gave them a simple task: travel to the far side of the river and return by nightfall. Along the way, I will observe you. If you are truly honest, you will show 3 small signs. If you fail, you will know that honesty is more than just words. The 3 men, confident in their own integrity, accepted the challenge eagerly. They set off together, unaware that their journey would reveal more than they expected. The first sign: how they speak in the absence of an audience. As the 3 walked along the path, they came across a small house with an open courtyard. An old man sat outside, seemingly lost in thought. The first traveler, seeing that the old man did not acknowledge them, turned to his companions and whispered, "Look at this man. He must be foolish, sitting here in silence. Perhaps he does not even understand us." The second traveler chuckled but said nothing. The third, however, frowned. "Why do you speak about him in this way?" he asked. "If you have a question, ask him directly. If you have a thought, keep it to yourself unless it serves kindness." Words spoken in the absence of an audience reveal the weight of one's heart. The first traveler shrugged, indifferent, and they continued their journey. That night, when they returned, the wise man smiled knowingly. The first sign of honesty is found in how one speaks when they believe no one is listening, he said. An honest person does not change their words based on who is present. The truth is not a performance, it is consistent. Those who speak differently in private and public do not carry truth within them. The first traveler lowered his head, realizing that honesty is not merely about avoiding lies. It is about aligning one's words with integrity, whether or not anyone is there to hear them. The second sign, how they react to a small temptation. As the three continued their journey, they reached a quiet stream where clear water flowed over smooth stones. Beside the stream, a small wooden stall stood unattended, filled with fresh fruits and bread. A sign read, "Take only what you need and leave what is fair." The travelers were hungry. The first traveler, seeing no one nearby, took 3 pieces of bread, but left only a single coin. The second traveler hesitated, but followed his lead, taking more than he had paid for. The third, however, placed 2 coins down and took only 1 piece of bread. The others laughed at him. "Why do you leave more than necessary?" they asked. "No one is watching." The third traveler smiled. "Honesty does not need an audience. What I take must match what I give. Otherwise, I carry a weight greater than hunger, the burden of dishonesty." When they returned, the wise man nodded. The second sign of honesty is revealed in how one reacts to small temptations, he said. An honest person does not need the presence of others to do what is right. They are as fair in secret as they are in the open. Those who betray honesty in small matters will betray it in great ones. The second traveler's expression darkened, realizing that honesty is not just about avoiding lies, it is about maintaining fairness, even when no one is there to judge. The third sign, how they accept the consequences of truth. As the journey neared its end, the travelers came across a fallen cart. A merchant was struggling to lift it, but the weight was too great. The merchant saw them and called out, "Will you help me? The wheel is broken, and I must reach my destination before nightfall." The first traveler sighed, "We have little time left. If we stop to help, we may not return by nightfall. It is unfortunate, but we must go." The second traveler nodded. "It is not our fault that he is in trouble. We cannot take responsibility for his misfortune." The third traveler, however, stepped forward. "If truth means anything, it must be upheld even at personal cost," he said. "To ignore what is right for the sake of comfort is to abandon honesty itself." He helped the merchant, though the effort delayed their return. When they arrived there back late, the wise man was waiting. The third sign of honesty is in how one accepts the consequences of truth. He said, "An honest person does not fear the cost of doing what is right, so that they do not turn away from duty for the sake of ease. Those who fear sacrifice cannot claim to live in truth." The first and second travelers were silent, realizing that honesty was more than they had believed. The third traveler, though exhausted, felt no regret. One, honesty is not about words, but actions. Many people believe honesty is simply about telling the truth. They assume that as long as they do not tell lies, they are honest. But honesty is not just the absence of falsehood. It is the presence of integrity. The first traveler in the story failed the test of honesty because he believed his words had no weight if no one was listening. Yet, what a person says when they think they are unheard reveals the true nature of their character. If one speaks ill of others in secret but presents kindness in public, they are not honest. They are merely performing. Buddhism teaches that speech is one of the 5 precepts. Speak only what is true, useful, and kind. When we observe someone's honesty, we must pay attention to how they speak when they have nothing to gain. If their words remain consistent, if they do not shift based on who is watching, then they are truly honest. This is why an honest person does not need to proclaim their honesty. Their words carry the same weight in darkness as they do in light. 2. Small temptations reveal a person's true nature. The second traveler failed in his test of honesty, not because he stole something grand, but because he gave in to a small temptation. Many people assume that only great betrayals matter, but in truth, the smallest dishonest act reveals the same weakness as a great one. A dishonest person justifies their wrong actions by saying, "This is too small to matter." But if a person is willing to take unfairly from a small fruit stall, what will they do when the stakes are higher? If they justify their dishonesty in minor matters, they will justify it in greater ones. This is why Buddhism teaches a person who steals a grain of rice has already stolen a kingdom. The way someone behaves when no one is watching is the true measure of their integrity. Honesty is not about grand displays. It is about small, everyday choices. An honest person resists temptation not because they fear being caught, but because they value their own sense of right and wrong. Thus, if you wish to know whether someone is honest, watch how they handle the smallest of moral choices. Do they cheat when no one is looking? Do they take more than they give? If so, then their honesty is only a mask, not a truth within them. 3. Truth has a cost, and only the honest will pay it. The third test was the most difficult of all because it required a sacrifice. It is easy to say one values honesty, but when honesty comes at a cost, many people abandon it. The first 2 travelers refused to help the merchant because they feared missing their deadline. They were willing to ignore the right thing for the sake of their own benefit. This is the greatest test of honesty. You still do what is right even when it costs you something. True honesty means facing the consequences of truth. If a person only tells the truth when it is convenient, they are not honest. They are calculating. The most honest person is not the one who claims to be truthful, but the one who stands by truth even when it brings discomfort, loss, or difficulty. Buddhist teachings tell us a man who holds truth in his heart does not waver, even when the wind of suffering blows. This is why an honest person is rare. Many people wish to be seen as honest, but few are willing to pay the price that honesty sometimes demands. If you wish to know who is truly honest. Do not listen to their words. Watch their actions when honesty requires sacrifice. Knowing these 3 signs of an honest person is not just about identifying others, it is about applying them to ourselves. 1. Ask yourself, do my words match in public and private? If you say kind words in front of someone but insult them in private, you are not honest. If you change your words depending on who is listening, you are performing not being truthful. Practice speaking with the same sincerity, whether in the presence of many or alone. 2. Ask yourself, how do I behave when no one is watching? If you are honest only when it benefits you, it is not true honesty. If you take more than you give in small matters, you will do the same in greater ones. Strengthen your integrity by treating small moral choices with the same seriousness as large ones. 3. Ask yourself, do I stand by the truth even when it costs me? If you avoid honesty to protect yourself from discomfort, your truth is weak. If you choose what is right only when it is easy, you have not truly embraced honesty. Build the courage to accept the consequences of truth, knowing that integrity is worth more than temporary comfort. By applying these principles, honesty becomes more than a label. It becomes a way of life. The silent strength of truth at the end of the story. The third traveler did not seek praise for his honesty. He simply lived it. This is the essence of truth. It does not need recognition. It does not need to be shouted. Like the rising sun, it reveals itself naturally. If you wish to be surrounded by honest people, do not ask them if they are honest. Watch them. See how they speak when no one listens, how they act when tempted, and how they respond when truth comes at a cost. But more importantly, ask yourself, do I carry these 3 signs within myself? Because in the end, the measure of another's honesty is only as important as our own. And when we walk the path of truth, we need not search for honest people. They will naturally walk beside us. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Just click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see next. See you in the next video.